you said to me, no more pizza night and movie night with your kids, I'd be like, you lost me right there. Hey there, Coach Devin here. Let's talk The Biggest Loser. The Biggest Loser, the show from not too long ago. Well, maybe it's a little longer ago than I think it is, but it's about weight loss. How much weight you can lose on the show, that's how you win. People lost 120 plus pounds. It's crazy. We're gonna talk about The Biggest Loser. Before we get going, please hit that subscribe and the bell down below. I will tell you whenever I'm doing a new video. I do lots of videos on health and fitness, so please subscribe and hit that bell down below. Okay, Biggest Loser. Biggest Loser, we're talking people losing a ton of weight. It actually was, in a lot of cases, very inspirational for a lot of people out there who thought, you know, maybe there's just no way for me to ever lose the weight that I'm sitting there with on my body right now. You see some of these people just change their bodies incredibly, and it can be very inspirational. Parts of it, I mean, some people complain that it wasn't that healthy and things, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the winners and how the winners have done. Now, some people have left the show. All the winners have gained some weight since they left the show. And I think that's normal, and what we're gonna do is talk about the difference between gaining weight positively and negatively, but there's three main reasons people gain weight after The Biggest Loser. And so somebody though, but we're not gonna talk about the ones that gain like 20 pounds. That to me, if you gain 20 pounds after losing 120 pounds, you're still winning. You're down 100 pounds, that's a person, right? That person is winning, they've knocked it out of the park. As far as I'm concerned, you're still incredibly successful. Like anybody that can do that and keep the weight off, even if you gain 10 or 20 pounds, 30 pounds, it's not a big deal. You're still down, like I said, 100 pounds. Let's talk about the people who put all the weight back on. Unfortunately, a lot of the winning contestants have put all their weight back on. Now, why is that? Why have they done all that work and they've ground and put the time and the effort and everything else, they've been on the show, and now they're putting all the weight back on? How the heck does that happen, right? Like, you're thinking, like, didn't you learn anything from the show? Like, how is it possible you did all that work and then something happened on the backside of it? Well, I think it breaks down to three major reasons why these people put weight back on. The first reason, you're not in a controlled environment anymore. When they're on the show The Biggest Loser, you're in a controlled environment. This is not real life. You're hanging out in the place, there's food to eat, you're exercising all the time, every day, you've got trainers in your face. I mean, I don't have the money to take off to, I don't know, Nevada or wherever the heck they were going, Arizona, and you're gonna go for hikes every day. You know, you didn't have to go to work. All those things, that's not a real environment. That's not real. It's kind of like seeing, I don't know, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. You know, you're in this controlled environment where everything is super romantic, and then you come back out of it and wow, not surprisingly, people aren't able to continue their romance because of the fact that now they're in real life. Like, you gotta go to work every day, your spouse is cranky, your boss is mad, you have stress at work, you have kids, whatever. Those same things happen to the people on The Biggest Loser. So you come off that show, you're not in that controlled environment anymore, and guess what? It makes it very hard to not slip back into your old patterns and your old ways of doing things, and next thing you know, you've gained some weight again. So that's the first reason, but not the most important reason. Number two reason is the sheer speed of it. They made massive changes suddenly, and I'm not a fan of the massive, huge change like that because it doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because it's so quick and it's such a wild change that people tend to go back to what they did before. I say to you, you can never have pizza again for the rest of your life, you probably are not going to listen to me. If I say to eat sustainably for the rest of your life, that's a different story. But when you make a wild change and you're working out, like I said, for them, 5-hour days of working out or being active, then you come out of this and guess what? You're back in real life and you can't be active 5 hours a day because you're sitting at a desk on a computer or whatever it is that you do for a living. That makes it tough. So it's the controlled environment, number one. Number two, they're now no longer as active as they were before. But the most important one, number three, the most important one is the fact that they haven't learned the sustainability. I'm a big sustainability guy. I believe that if you want to be successful in weight loss, you have to have a sustainable model to go forward. Now that sounds like a lot of big words and garbage and junk, right? That's really what it is. And I will tell you, I'd be the first one to tell you that, like, it sounds ridiculous. But sustainability is all about the ability to start something making it reasonable, and you can do it long term. That's what sustainability is. So if you want sustainable weight loss, you don't crash diet, because that's not sustainable long term. You don't say, I'm never going to eat carbs again. Again, not sustainable long term. You're not going to do it. You're not going to say, I'm going to, I don't know, be on one of these cabbage soup diets. Again, not something that's sustainable long term. If I say to you, like I said earlier, with a pizza, you can never ever have junk food again. Well, that's not sustainable. It's stupid. You'll never follow through with that. That's not a sustainable plan. If it's 5 hours of exercise a day, unable to do it. And I see people do this all the time. They set these wild goals for themselves, and the goal is so big. I'm going to work out 7 days a week, 2 hours a day. It's too much. You're not going to do it long term, because you're going to get sick of it and you're going to stop. And it's not your fault you're stopping. It's because the plan you had is not a sustainable plan. I won't work out 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if I'm not doing it, I'm crazy about fitness. How the heck are you going to do it? And you're new to fitness, right? What you need is a sustainable plan. And a sustainable plan for the people on The Biggest Loser means you transfer back saying, okay, I have to work exercise into my daily routine, and I have to exercise 4 to 5 days every week. I have to have a sustainable diet plan whereby I'm not eating in a caloric negative. I'm not eating fewer calories than I'm burning, because at some point you have to get to maintenance. You have to say, okay, I've lost enough weight now. You have to have the ability to eat some of the favorite foods that you like while not binging and going too high. That's sustainability. And the problem, I think, the Biggest Loser people is they come from this regimented environment where there is a huge amount of exercise, and they go home to real life, and you can't exercise that much. It's not a regimented environment. You got to make your own food. You got to go to work. You have to do, there's a lot of things pulling you, your kids, your spouse, whatever, a lot of things pulling you in different directions. So the problem, the reason that the people gain back so much weight, and a lot of them unfortunately have put back on 100 pounds or more. Some of them gained every pound that they lost is back. The reason they've gained that is they don't have a sustainable model. And that's on The Biggest Loser, it's not on them. So when they leave the show, they need to have a sustainable model to go forward. And if they haven't been taught the sustainable model, it doesn't work. I tell clients all the time, every Friday I have pizza with my kids and my wife. We have pizza, movie nights, we eat chips, chocolate. That's my night. I do it. I've been doing it for years. My son is 19 years old now, so I've been doing it for like 16, 17 years now. It's been going on for a long time. I don't plan to stop it anytime soon. I think I'm reasonably fit, but I'm able to sustain my fitness level because of the fact that I have things like that in my plan. That's what I do. I'm like, I'm going to have those nights. If you said to me, no more pizza night and movie night with your kids, I'd be like, you lost me right there. That's where sustainability comes in, and that's where The Biggest Loser people are falling down, and that's where the show and the trainers on the show have to come forward and say, listen, we're doing this now, but this is your plan going forward, and it has to be sustainable enough to stick. And I know The Biggest Loser people, somebody's gonna say, well, Devin, but they go home and some of them continue to lose weight. Yeah, but you got a gun to your head, right? That's not a great analogy, but you know what I mean. They had the pressure of, I have to get back to that show and I have to lose weight for that show because I'm going to win X amount of money or dollars, or, you know, I'm going to get on TV and I don't want to embarrass myself. Short-term things like that, they're easy to do. You diet for 15, 16 weeks, 20 weeks, you can do that. You can work out every day for 20 weeks, and then you're going to burn out, then you're going to get sick of it, then you're going to stop doing it. And again, it comes down to the sustainability side of it. Pick a goal that's sustainable. And you have to have myriad goals going forward. You can't just have one goal, which is weight loss. I say to clients all the time, especially ones that have to lose a lot of weight, okay, great. You want to lose weight. Where do you want to get? We talk about where you want to get. Okay, and what are you going to do when you get there? What are you doing once you get there? If you need to lose 100 pounds and you lose 100 pounds, then what? What's the next step? And a lot of the people in The Biggest Loser, and that's probably point number 4. I added one in there, you see that? Point number 4 is they don't know where to go after that. You need to have new goals. You need to have exciting things. If you go to work and you do the same thing every single day, you get very bored very fast. If you do the same thing at home with your spouse or your kids every single day, you get very bored very fast. It's just the way it is. And you can't help yourself because no one can do that long term. You'll just get tired of it and you'll stop. Those are the facts, and that's how it works. So you have to have goals past whatever the weight loss goal is. I have goals all the time. So sometimes I'm like, I want to get bigger, and I work to get bigger. And then I'm like, I want to get leaner. I did Project Fit Devin, and I was like, for 12 weeks, I'm like grinding away to drop weight and get as lean as possible just to show people I can do it, and it's kind of fun. And then I stop that and I go on to a different goal. I want to be able to run, or I want to be able to lift this, or whatever. You need goals. You need new goals, interesting goals all the time. So that's number 4. I think the Biggest Loser people come off. They don't have goals anymore. The goal was to lose weight and win the show. Once that's over, you're lost. And that's where trainers come in. That's our job as a trainer, is to help you come up with your goals, stick your goals, and hopefully be successful long-term in a sustainable model. What do you think? Do you think the Biggest Loser people are gaining weight for those reasons, or do you think it's another reason? Whatever it is, write it up down below. I'd love to hear from you. Have yourself a great day, people. Go fight the awesome.